It's Roy Kelly for Seconds Out. Delighted to be joined by the legendary Dave Caldwell, who was up in Newcastle for Hopey Price against Thomas Masson for the WBA Continental Championship on Saturday. Dave, how's Hopey looking?
Very good. Listen, all trainers said the fighters look good, but Hopey's consistently very, very good. He's an outstanding talent. He's got a fantastic mentality, and he's developing just how I need him to. I'm excited about this fight because it's against a seasoned fighter who's been European champion, fought for world titles, still got ambitions to get up there. He's not too old, and you know this is a man that's experienced over 10, 12 rounds. So when you have people like that are also coming to win, it makes the work that you're putting in the gym with a fighter count for real, because it's not against a guy that's just tucking up and trying to survive. And it's a case about you just want to try and see, can you stop him, or is it going to be? It's about you got to work to win. You got to put into practice to win. And these are the fights now where we're excited about, because it's only going to go up and up and up.
Yeah. How important is it for Hopey to have this a boxer of this caliber like on his record and in front of him in a ring?
It's massive. I mean, listen, records are for DJs. They don't interest me. You know, you can have fighters that have got losses on the records or whatever. It doesn't mean that they're a bad fighter. It's about the experience that you can take from fights like this, where fighters are going to give you problems, going to not react the same way as somebody who's just come in just to survive and get through the rounds, or somebody who's not boxed at that sort of level will do. And it's you picking up on those reactions, picking up on what's happening in front of you, and adding to your experience as you're going up the ladder and, you know, towards major title fights and elite level competition. You've got to add these bits of experience before you get there, because otherwise a lot of fighters can get beat not because they're not as good, but because they're not as experienced.
You've operated, Dave, at the top level for a long time and had some great fighters under you, likes of, you know, Hay, Bellew, Groves. Where does Hopey compare in terms of his talent and his work ethic, probably just as importantly?
I don't like comparing, because it's very easy to you've got to understand these fighters that worked with in the past have achieved, they've gone on and done great things, whereas Hopey's just starting out. But I always say what these fighters remind me of fighters with the past: work ethic, drives, mentality. It's like I've always said about Hopey, the best mentality, as in so calm, so calculated, precise, nothing gets to him, that I'd have worked with was George Groves. Hopey reminds me of George Groves' mentality. Nothing fusses him, nothing phases him. You know, his mentality in that regard is unbelievable, unshakable, no matter what happens. I find that very, very important, because, you know, especially in this stage of a career where they will go out and sacrifice not having knockouts on a record in order to get what the instructions are and to get the experience that I wanted to put in. That's important, because again, like I said, as you're moving down the line, sometimes you have these early round knockouts and stuff, you've not learned enough, and then you get stepped up and you know, you get caught out. But talent wise, he's right up there. It's just a matter of time, bringing that talent out, developing it, and then we'll see, you know, how does he stack up against the others. But yeah, he's exceptional.
On the subject of talent, Dave, how's Jordan Gill looking?
Very, very good. He's back in the gym. He's going to be boxing at super featherweight now. He's only 28. People forget, because he's been around a long time, and you know, he's a good fighter. Won Commonwealth titles, international titles, European titles. You know, fell short at world level at featherweight with Kiko. There's no great shame in that. So he's going to go to super featherweight. We're going to have another run at it, and we're just looking to get out in an 8-rounder first, bring him back with that, and then straight into, you know, some real fights again.
Yeah. And just while we've got you, Dave, we couldn't let this pass without a chat about Conor Benn. I think the last time you spoke to Seconds Out, you were maybe a little bit on the fence, maybe awaiting a few more facts to come out of the situation. But did you see the Piers Morgan interview? What did you glean from Conor's chat with Piers?
I didn't think it was a great thing to do. I don't think it shined him in a particularly positive sort of light. But it's like, what does it matter what I think? Because what I think, it doesn't make any difference to the sport. You've got WBC that are ranking him. You've got Eddie that's pushing for major fights for him. I understand it from their point of view. It's all about money. I understand that, but from the thing that frustrates me is that you've got this evidence that's gonna clear you, that you've spent all the money on, and you've 270 pages or whatever it is. But when you presented that to the WBC, they didn't want to use that. They came up with another reason why you could have failed the test that is all right, is fine, acceptable. So there are questions there that if you're saying that VADA have messed up, VADA aren't responding to this where there's 3 tests that have come back clear, and then on the 4th test you've failed the 4th test. Why have the 3 tests come back clear if the 4th, and why are you testing repeatedly? So I feel that VADA need to answer and explain, just so we all know what the process is, and why, how many times you test before it's actually all right, you've passed. Is it normal, is it not normal? If that's the case, why? If it's not normal, why did you do it? And if it is normal, how is the 4th test came back with something in it? If that's the case, if VADA have messed up through contamination or something like that, then that means the WBC are covering up for VADA by giving up an excuse, which means that the WBC are doing something there that falls under the umbrella of being corrupt, because you're covering, let's make this excuse so the truth doesn't come out. So there are so many grey areas in it, and until we understand what it all is, then it's very, very difficult to have a voice that matters when you're not involved in it. My voice doesn't matter. But when you're slipping up and you're saying in the interview, the fight decibles thing, where because you're drowned out by the noise of Piers. Great interview and everything, but he doesn't let people speak when he asks a question. And when he didn't allow him to finish his sentence, you didn't listen to what he said, where he says it's the food. So that means that is probably why he's not giving the evidence to the Board of Control, because under the Board of Control, you are responsible for what is found in your body. Whether it's an accident or not, you have to then say, it's this, but you are responsible for that. So that's basically him slipping up and saying that it's food. That's there you go. That's probably why he's not handing in the evidence. It's just a load of bollocks, and it's just dragging on, and it's just, I just find this. If you fail, there's fighters that have failed tests for little things, sports supplement drinks or whatever. They've been banned. Everybody should get a ban if you fail a test. It's like WBC, sweep it on the carpet, here you go, you're ranked in number 7. Yeah, I find it frustrating.
Do you think Conor should grasp the nettle and speak to the British Boxing Board of Control about it?
Why not? Apart from, it probably, if it's there in the evidence that it's come from the food, then you are responsible for it, so that you'll get a ban. So that's why he's not. But that's the thing. It's like you go on Piers Morgan, you'll do this, but you won't go and speak to the people that license you. You've boxed in the country all your life, well, probably all your life, since you come from Australia, whatever. But you won't go and do that. And it's like, what? I don't know what to say anymore. I'm a bit with the whole sport at the moment. I think it's just a little bit shit, and that is just a big shit stain. And it's frustrating.
Do you think for the sport's reputation and moving forward, it needs to be resolved more than quickly?
I think everybody needs to sort themselves out. I think VADA need to explain what the process was. Why is he saying this? Because surely, if it wasn't true what he's saying about the X amount of tests and they all came back clear apart from his legal representative wasn't allowed in. If all this lot wasn't true, surely his lawyers, expensive lawyers, would have said, you can't say that because VADA will sue you. So maybe it is true, but then VADA surely should come out and say something. And then, like I said, if VADA have come out and said something, then WBC should say, well, this. I just think the whole lot is very, very murky. But it's like, just get on with your career and just pretend it's not happened, it's a little bit shit, because you failed 2 tests, regardless of whatever. The only facts are you failed 2 tests. They're the only facts that we're aware of, and that's why people will be a little bit, no, it's wrong, or even if they're like, it's a bit murky, it's a bit, it's a bit unclear, you're leaning towards, well, you failed 2 tests. You're leaning towards that way because you failed 2 tests. We don't know what's truth about this report and everything, and it's a mess.
One thing that's not a mess is Hopey Price, and we wish him all the best on Saturday. Thanks for joining us on SecondsOut.com. Thank you.
Appreciate it.